Today, we're going to be talking about how to book passes to skip the lines at the Tokyo Disney Resort. I'm going to tell you about the different kinds of passes they have, how to book them, and I'm even going to tell you a little bit about mobile ordering. So, first of all, let's break down the different kinds of passes they have. They have five different kinds of passes that you could have at the same time. You could have a Disney Premier Access Pass for a ride, a Disney Premier Access Pass for a show, a Disney Priority Pass for a ride, an entry request for a show, and a standby pass for a capsule toy. Yeah, that's five different kinds of passes, and it sounds really overwhelming, but I'm going to do my best to help you guys get through it. First, let's break down the different kind of passes there are. I'm going to try to make it simple, so let's just start off talking about the rides. There are two different kinds of passes you can get for the rides. There is a Disney Premier Access Pass, which is a paid pass, and there is a Disney Priority Pass, which is a free pass. You can only book passes once you're inside the park, and everyone has to be inside the park. Disney Premier Access is for the most popular rides. Disney Priority Pass is for basically the second tier of most popular rides. There are attractions in the park that don't have any option for passes, so you will just have to go through a standby queue for those. And every attraction in the park now has a standby line. You can just wait in a queue. They are sometimes very long waits, which is why we're talking about passes here. So let's start off with just the Premier Access Pass, which is the paid pass. These are paid per person per ride, and you can book another one 1 hour after booking or as soon as your time arrives. For example, I get in the park at 9 a.m. and I book Beauty and the Beast for 9:30. At 9:30, I can book another pass. If at 9 a.m. I get in the park and I book Beauty and the Beast for noon, I can book another pass at 10 a.m. So either 1 hour after booking or as soon as the time arrives. When you book your pass, there will be a little message that pops up that tells you the time that you can book your next pass. So let's say you booked Frozen at 11 a.m. and it's 9 a.m. When you book it and it confirms your booking, it will have a little message that says next Premier Access Pass available at 10 a.m. So at 10 a.m., I want to get back on the app and book my next pass. We're going to talk more about the stacking later. But for now, basically, bottom line is that you can book your next Premier Access Pass 1 hour later or as soon as the time arrives. And you do not have to scan the pass to book the next pass. If your time is at 9 a.m., at 9 a.m., you can book your next pass. You don't have to scan at the attraction to book the next one. Disney Priority Passes are the free passes. Those ones can be a little trickier to get because more people are interested in booking free passes than they are for paying for rides. If you book a priority pass, you can book your next priority pass 2 hours later or as soon as your time arrives. So if you book a pass, if at 9 a.m. you book a pass for 3 p.m., the next time you can book an attraction will be 11 a.m., so 2 hours after the booking time. This is the same thing where you'll get a message on your screen that'll tell you the next time you can book a priority pass. So again, Disney Premier Access, paid passes, you can book them 1 hour apart or as soon as your time arrives. And priority passes, you can book another one 2 hours later or as soon as your time arrives. All passes can run out. So there is a chance that you get on the app and that Beauty and the Beast is completely sold out for the day, or the parades are completely sold out for the day. So you do want to kind of plan what attractions or shows or rides or whatever are most important to you so that you don't miss out. For shows, there are two types of passes. This is a little confusing here. Most of the shows inside the park require that you have a ticket basically, to see them. This means that you have to do an entry request, which is a free pass, or you can pay for a seat to see the show. Shows are very popular, I'll tell you that. So, for example, Big Band Beat. When you get in the park, you need to get on the app and try to do an entry request for Big Band Beat. You'll select the time that you wish to try to see the show, and it'll tell you you were either successful in getting a reservation for the show, or it'll tell you you were not able to get a spot in the show. So there's no way to just get in line and go see the show. You do have to either have an entry request or you can pay. So then here's an example of Big Band Beat. If you didn't get in with the entry request for free, you can go and do a premiere access and pay for a seat to see the show. So if shows are important to you, you need to try to do the entry request early or just buy the premiere access for a seat for the show. And it's the same thing here, that if you pay for a spot with a premiere access for a show, you can book another premiere access for another show exactly 1 hour later or whenever the show time is. So whichever comes first. So now we have the Disney Premier Access for rides, which is paid, Disney Premier Access for shows, which is paid, Disney Priority Pass for rides, which is free, the entry request for shows, and the final pass that we're going to talk about is the standby pass. And this is pretty simple. If you want something like the capsule toys in certain stores, or if you want to play games and they're very busy, they do require you to get a standby pass in the app. So what I do is when I get to the park, I go on the app and I scroll through all the locations and see if anywhere says it needs a standby pass. I saw Adventureland Bazaar needed a standby pass for the capsule toys. So I booked a time at like 9 o'clock. You just pick the time and it shows up in your plans. Real simple. Then when you arrive at the venue, you tap on it and it shows the cast member that you booked the standby pass for the capsule toys, and you can get in line to get capsule toys. And you are limited, at least they told us, we were limited to 4 turns per standby pass. And standby passes, you can book more. So just same kind of thing. If you want to do the capsule toys more than once you use that pass, you can book your next one. Now let's dig a little deeper into the Disney Premier Access passes. Starting with Tokyo Disneyland. There are only 3 rides at Tokyo Disneyland with the Premier Access Pass. So it's pretty easy to get all 3 of those booked in a day. You don't really have to stress too much. The 3 attractions are the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast, which is the best ride. Then we have the Happy Ride with Baymax, and then we have Splash Mountain. The Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast is 2,000 yen per person, and the Happy Ride with Baymax and Splash Mountain are 1,500 yen per person. At Tokyo Disneyland, the premier access for shows and parades include Harmony in Color, the Tokyo Disneyland Electrical Parade, Reach for the Stars, Mickey's Magical Musical World, Club Mouse Beat, and then seasonal offerings like the Donald Parade or the Halloween Parade coming up. And these are 2,500 yen per person. And what it is you are paying to reserve a spot on the ground. There are numbered and lettered sections around the front of the park or wherever the show is. For example, if you're going to see Harmony in Color and you book a pass, it's 2,500 yen per person, and you are automatically assigned a spot. Ours was section A, row 2, and then I think seat 27 or something like that. So there are different sections around the castle, and then there are different rows. So our seat this day would have been second row behind people. So just keep in mind that if you do book a seat for the shows or the parades at night, you may not be the front row. So just that's something that If you're going to sit behind people, I honestly think you could sit behind people and get a spot last minute and see just as well. So I don't usually recommend booking the passes for the parades. If you want to see the shows and you can't get an entry request, I definitely recommend booking the premier access for the shows you want to see. Now, looking over at Tokyo Disney Sea, you can buy Disney Premier Access passes for Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, Rapunzel's Lantern Festival, Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, Soarin', Toy Story Mania, Journey to the Center of the Earth, and Tower of Terror. Journey to the Center of the Earth and Tower of Terror are 1,500 yen per person, and the others are all 2,000 yen per person. For shows, it's 2,500 yen per person, and these can be booked for Believe Sea of Dreams, Big Band Beat, Dreams Take Flight, and other seasonal offerings like the Dockside Splash Remix. Disneyland's free priority passes are for attractions like Pooh's Honey Hunt, Monsters Inc. Ride and Go Seek, Star Tours, Haunted Mansion, and Thunder Mountain. Over at Disney Sea, the free priority passes are good for Turtle Talk, Nemo and Friends Sea Rider, Indiana Jones, Raging Spirits, Magic Lamp Theater, and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Aquatopia is also included from July 1st through September 15th when they're doing the Get Soaked version only. Entry requests are needed for shows. They are free though. At Tokyo Disneyland, they're for Mickey's Magical Musical World, Club Mouse Beat, and Jamboree Mickey. At Disney Sea, they're required for Big Band Beat, Dreams Take Flight, and Dockside Splash Remix through September. Standby passes are sometimes required, and they can be for capsule toys, for games, for rides, and even for new merchandise releases. Now, let's try to figure out the best way to strategize. This is going to be different for everyone depending on what's important to you. I usually look at it like this. With entry requests for shows, you do need them. So if a show is important to you, you may want to try for the entry request for a show first. Those are going to probably fill up quickly. Free passes, like priority passes, there's a higher capacity for rides than there are for shows. Think about it. A theater has a certain number of people that can fit versus a ride that gets a lot more people through on the vehicles going constantly. So you have a better chance of getting a priority pass for a ride, like a free pass for a ride. That's a little easier than I think for an entry request. When it comes to Premier Access, not everyone wants to spend that much money per person, so those can last a little longer. Frozen is the most popular ride between the two parks, and that's the one that I tend to see sell out. There have been days that we're at Disney Sea, and my mom will say, just look and see if we can buy a Frozen pass. And a lot of times it's sold out. So there is always the possibility of passes selling out. And as I said, there's a higher capacity with rides than there are for shows. Same thing with parades and night shows. The night shows aren't as bad, but with the parades, the quicker you get on the app and buy your Premier Access Pass, the better chance you have of having a better seat. We have gotten there during Happy Entry and booked the Premier Access for Harmony and Color right away and gotten front row, which was great. We've also been there and around 9 a.m. started trying to book the pass and we got the second row. I personally don't really recommend booking passes for the parades. I know I mentioned it earlier, but we have walked up and gotten great seats last minute. I'm just going to show you. Here's a clip of when we booked the Premier Access and had the reserved seat for the parade. We had front row. It was a rainy day that probably helped our chances of getting front row too. But this was when we paid for a seat. And now I'm going to show you another day that we sat on a bench about 20 minutes before the parade started. So had a great view. Then I'm also going to show you a clip here of when we came about 20 minutes before the parade started and we sat on the curb and we had a perfect view for the Donald Parade. So this is my view of the Donald Parade that was free. And earlier in the day, we had discussed about paying for a pass for the Donald Parade because we wanted to see it really good. And so once we got this spot on the curb about 20 minutes before it started, we were so thankful that we didn't spend the money. So I think you can get a spot for the parades. You can get a spot for Believe Sea of Dreams. You can get a spot for Reach for the Stars. I just don't personally recommend booking and paying for those seats. But for convenience sake, you may want to do it. So I'm not putting it down. It's just personally, I don't buy the parade spots anymore. Now I'm just going to talk a little bit and ramble about some of my strategies and some of the things that I do to get the most done. Here's an example. It was our last day that we were leaving for the airport that afternoon. So the goal was to get as much done in the morning as possible. We stayed at a Disney hotel, which gets you in the park 15 minutes early. This is called Happy Entry. And I know you think 15 minutes, that doesn't sound like a lot, but you're going to stack a lot of passes during that time. That's going to be before other guests are even in the park. So it's going to be a huge advantage to you. So if you have Happy Entry, use that to get in the park and start booking these passes. As soon as we have entered and scanned our ticket, I am on my phone and I'm booking the earliest times I can find. I'm not really concerned about what ride I want to ride. I am trying to get the earliest time. I'm also going for the most popular rides. For example, I'm going to jump on the app and immediately book 9 a.m. Premier Access for Beauty and the Beast, which means at 9 a.m. I can book another pass. So there we have it. So it is 8:45. We have gotten in the park with Happy Entry. I have booked a 9 a.m. for Beauty and the Beast. I am now going to jump over and do a priority pass. And priority passes, I am going to typically pick between the three most popular attractions, whatever the earliest time is. So I would pick, for me, I'm going to look between Pooh's Honey Hunt, Monsters Inc., and Big Thunder Mountain. Those are the three most popular of the free passes. And I'm going to pick whichever one has a 9 a.m. or 9:05 time, or earliest, whatever time you're in there. So for me, I looked at the app and I saw Pooh's Honey Hunt was 9:05 and Monsters Inc. was 9 a.m. I would normally pick the 9 a.m. Monsters. The only thing is that right now there's construction walls up and you have to walk really far to get to Monsters from Beauty and the Beast. And Pooh's Honey Hunt is pretty close to Beauty and the Beast. So that's why I picked the 9:05. But I would normally say pick the 9 a.m. So here I am. I picked Beauty and the Beast at 9 a.m. I've picked Pooh's Honey Hunt at 9:05. Now this, if I were you, would be jumping in and doing entry requests for shows. I would also, if you want to buy the Premier Access Pass for a show, so jump in the app, do that, buy a spot for one of the shows, and then check and see if any of the capsule toys need a standby pass. So there you have it, with not even 9 a.m. and we're booking things like that. Now, so keep in mind, my Beauty and the Beast is 9 a.m. You have an hour window to go do that. And you could probably show up a little later than that too, and nobody's going to really say anything. But I've booked 9 a.m. Beauty and the Beast. So at 8:45, I would say go towards the attractions that do not offer passes. Go start off with Pirates of the Caribbean. Go start off with Peter Pan's Flight. Go to the Fantasyland rides like Pinocchio and Snow White, and go to Jungle Cruise. Do all of those, like, I don't want to call them bottom tier attractions, but all of the attractions that do not have an option for a pass, go to those first because everyone else in the park is running towards the popular stuff. So you're going to go to those other attractions and do those. But wait, there's more, because let's say we have our times here. Let's go to Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, at 9 a.m., we're in line for Pirates of the Caribbean, and I am booking more passes. So 9 a.m., well, that's my Beauty and the Beast time. I don't have to scan my Beauty and the Beast pass. It just has to be that time. So at 9 a.m., I immediately go on the app and I go in and I book, let's say, Splash Mountain. So then you're going to buy your Splash Mountain pass. And now it doesn't really matter what time your Splash Mountain time is for, because an hour later, you can buy Happy Ride with Baymax. So 9 a.m., I have now paid for Beauty and the Beast. And at 9 a.m., I am now paying for Splash Mountain. And an hour later at 10 a.m., I'm going to buy Happy Ride with Baymax. And you will have 3 times for the 3 top attractions paid and booked within the first 15-20 minutes of being in the park. Now, while you're doing that, luckily it's 9:05 now, so your priority pass time is up, and you don't have to use Pooh's Honey Hunt at 9:05 to book another pass. So 9:05 hits and I'm looking for Monsters Inc. Well, I got Monsters Inc. I tried to click on the 10:25 and it was gone, and it said the next time was 10:55. So no worries. I got a 10:55 for Monsters Inc. So now you can essentially be there with Beauty and the Beast, Splash Mountain, Pooh's Honey Hunt, and Monsters Inc. all in your plans, in your app with QR codes to just go to those attractions. Well, you're getting in line or getting on Pirates of the Caribbean. So now you're getting on Pirates of the Caribbean, and you got all these rides set up for the day, and possibly shows and other things that you have booked. And you're already off to a great start. So just take your time and hit some of the smaller attractions while you're making your way over to Beauty and the Beast to start using your passes. And then at 10:55, when you use your Monsters Inc. pass, you're going to be able to book another pass. Now, just for the sake of math here, at 9:05, I tried to book a 10:25 for Monsters Inc., which means I could have booked another pass at 10:25. Let's just, for the sake of this, at 9:05, let's say Monsters Inc. wasn't available until 2 o'clock, and I book it at 2 o'clock. Well, it's 9:05 that I did it, and 2 hours later, I can book another one. So 9:05, at 11:05 a.m., I can go in and book Haunted Mansion or Big Thunder Mountain. I'd probably do Big Thunder Mountain. So here we are. We can say we did Pooh's Honey Hunt at 9:05. We booked Monsters Inc. And either at the time of Monsters Inc. or 2 hours later, we could book our third, which I would say Big Thunder Mountain. I'm also going to suggest that when you're booking that second choice, if you can get an early time, try to get the early time. That's just the best thing you can do. But Happy Entry is going to be your friend, because you're going to get a lot of those things booked, and you're going to be in line for something else. So see, we're already off to a great start. Do you see how much I have? This is the day that I got to go to the airport. Do you see how much I already have booked for the morning, and I still have time, and I can still book more passes, and I can still get in standby lines for other attractions. Do you see how excited I get over this? I'm like, oh, we're winning the system here. Now, let's talk about Tokyo Disney Sea, which is a different beast. It's really, that one's trickier because there are a lot more rides that have the Disney Premier Access Pass, which is good because you can pay for more attractions at Tokyo Disney Sea. The only downside is I feel like some of the attractions sell out quicker. Tokyo Disneyland, that doesn't always happen, like doesn't usually happen. Tokyo Disney Sea, I see the attractions sell out sometimes. The two that I see sell out the most, well, three, I'm sorry. There are three attractions that I tend to see sell out the most: Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, Journey to the Center of the Earth, and Tower of Terror. Journey to the Center of the Earth and Tower of Terror are the two cheapest passes. So I think that's why they tend to run out first. Frozen is the best ride, which is why that tends to run out first. Frozen also tends to have the highest wait time of all the Fantasy Springs attractions. So definitely worth paying to skip that one. So let's talk about my strategy for Tokyo Disney Sea. As soon as I get in the park, I'm going to try to either book Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, which is a Premier Access paid pass, or I'm going to try to jump on and book a priority pass, a free pass for Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones runs out so quickly. Every time I go, I never am able to get one. The one day, I think it was like happy entry we got in the park, and I was able to get an Indiana Jones time. But I'm going to have a screen recording here where I think the time popped up for Indiana Jones at 10 something, and I clicked it, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, next time available is 5:30. So you can just see how quickly the free passes go. And Indiana Jones is the most popular, and that will go the quickest. Raging Spirits goes upside down. It's not a great coaster. It's not at all. It's kind of like the Indiana Jones coaster in Paris. I don't think as many people want to go upside down, so that pass seems to last a long time for the free ones. Turtle Talk seems to run out quickly too for free passes. I've never done that. I assume it's all in Japanese, so I've just never done it. Uh, and then 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I love that. That one is really easy to get. Most of the free passes are easy to get. We've got Nemo Sea Rider. If you're going in the summer, go for Aquatopia. If you're there between July whatever through September 15th, do Aquatopia. Prioritize that one. It's great. You do get wet on the version in the summer. But for everyone else, Indiana Jones has to be your priority for a priority pass. And then when it comes to the Premier Access, I suggest doing the Fantasy Springs rides, Frozen, and then I say go for Tower or Journey. Journey to the Center of the Earth is the most unique of those. Tower of Terror has a different storyline. So I love doing Tower of Terror, but it's a milder version of the ones that are in the other parks. So some people just don't care for Tower of Terror. If I had to recommend, I would say Journey to the Center of the Earth is great because it's unique. And then the Fantasy Springs rides are amazing. Toy Story Mania is the same as other parks. So if you've done that there, that may be something you want to skip. The line is usually long, so you do want to pay to skip that line. So Disney Sea, there are many more options for paying to skip the lines. It's the same process. You can either book another one hour later or as soon as the time arrives. If at 9 a.m. I get a pass for Frozen at 5 o'clock, well, I can book another pass 1 hour later. So at 10 a.m., I can try to book Tower of Terror. So just if, with you having an hour in between, that you can book another one, I say just keep stacking them throughout the day if you can. Buy your Frozen, buy your Journey, buy your Tower of Terror, buy Peter Pan, Rapunzel, whatever you can get through. And then, as I said, for priority passes, really just Indiana Jones is the main one you got to start with. You do need the Tokyo Disney Resort app. And I'm going to assume that you probably have it since you've booked your reservations and things. Maybe you've bought your tickets. You want to have your tickets and your payment method already included in your app. Again, most likely you already have this all set up. The thing is, you need to have all of the tickets in the same account to book the passes. This is really easy. If one person bought all of them, they're probably already all in your app. If they're on different people's apps, you can put them all on one. The Tokyo Disney website explains how to create a group or create a family or something like that. What I do is I have my mom just bring up her ticket QR code on her screen, and I scan the ticket off of her phone. And it'll say, "Do you want to transfer this ticket to your account?" And you just hit yes. So just for time's sake and easy sake, I just scan the tickets all onto my phone. If you're staying at a Tokyo Disney hotel, if you buy tickets at the hotel, you get paper tickets, which is really cool. I like these for souvenirs. So if you buy the tickets at the hotels, you get paper tickets, which is really cool. And there's just a QR code on the back. You just, when you go to the app, it'll say scan. You just hit scan and it opens the camera and just scan the paper tickets. And so if everyone in the group has paper tickets, if you have a vacation package and you have paper tickets, just scan them all into the same app. If they're on different phones, just bring them up, and whoever's going to be in charge of booking the passes, just scan them off the phone. Okay, I'm scanning them all onto my phone. They're on my phone. There you go. That's I'm in charge now, as I should be. Uh, so again, you're going to want to have the payment method in there so that when you buy Premier Access, you already are good to go. This will also help you when mobile ordering, because I did mention I want to talk about mobile ordering, which will save you in the long run many a times. Lines can be really long. Some restaurants have mobile order. Not all of them, but some of them. You can go and look at the list. I bring up the list of restaurants in the app and kind of scroll down, and you'll see the ones that have um, mobile order next to it. And it's real easy. You're just going to click on the restaurant you want. You're going to click on mobile order, and then you're going to pick the time that you want to place your order. One nice thing is that you can plan this in advance. So let's say you and your family know that at noon you want to eat at Tomorrowland Terrace. First thing in the morning, you can set up your order and arrange the noon pickup time. Then once you arrive at the restaurant, just click I'm here and they'll start preparing the order. The only benefit I think to that is that at lunchtime, it can be really busy. I went to Tomorrowland Terrace and it was super busy. And the earliest mobile order pickup time was 20 minutes. So I did that. I just had to wait 20 minutes till it was my time to get the food. So the only advantage of maybe pre-ordering it or picking your time in like early or before you get to the restaurant is that you will have a shorter wait when you get there. So here's an example. We ordered some food from Tomorrowland Terrace, and there was no wait at this time. So it was one of those situations where I could pick up right now. So I picked the earliest time that was available. And then I was just getting a couple candy cases. You can buy food, you can buy drinks, or you can buy some of the little souvenirs. The candy cases were limited one per person per transaction. And if you look at the screen, it shows that I can order two of them. So I could order two plates, I could order two candy cases. I believe that's because I have two park tickets on my phone. So it knows that there are two guests. Otherwise, I assume it would probably just have one. So there are limits to some of these little cute little candy cases and things like that. But what I did was I picked out the candy cases I wanted. I completed the order. I went through it. And then your next step is that once it appears in my plans, once I'm at the restaurant, I open that up. And at the bottom, it says, I'm here. I click, I'm here. And they'll start preparing the order. Once the order is ready, it tells me to go up to the register and get it. It also shows you how many parties are in front of you. So you kind of have an idea of how long you'll be waiting. And once it's your time, it'll say pick up at register 3. And the nice thing is that the app also shows you a little map with the layout of the registers. So it makes it really easy to figure out where's number 3 or where's number 11. So when it says go to number 11, you can look there. Oh, there's number 11 right there. And you walk over to it. Super convenient, super quick. The lines can be really long. So this is so useful. I've used it so many times. More restaurants have been getting it. Even the Big Pop says it's got mobile order now. And the Big Pop is this place that has popcorn buckets and different flavors of popcorn. They always have a long line. So next time I go, I'm going to mobile order from the Big Pop. So I think this has been pretty much everything. I hope I explained the different kind of passes. I hope that it was easy to understand. I hope you guys have some ideas of how to strategize. I know it seems a bit overwhelming, but you're going to do great. There are a few things that I might have missed, so I'm just going to recap and add a few little thoughts here. The Disney Premier Access and Disney Priority Passes work the same way. They just have different names and work for different attractions. You can have a Disney Premier Access for a ride and a Disney Premier Access for a show or a parade at the same time. They don't affect each other. So when you select Disney Premier Access, it will then ask you to select attractions or parades and shows, and you can do both of those at the same time. You can also have overlapping experiences. The app will ask you if you want to proceed, so just say yes, it's fine. When you go to book a pass for a ride, it also shows you the wait time, and you can use that to decide whether you just want to go get in the standby line or book a pass for it. When you're booking passes, you do need to select everyone that is riding. If their ticket doesn't show up, there is an area where you can just click scan and just scan the QR code of their ticket. Even if you have a vacation package, you can still use a lot of these tips to get passes as well. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you want, subscribe to the channel. I'll have even more Tokyo Disney content coming, more vlogs coming up. My next trip is in November, so stay tuned for more coverage of that. And if you're doing a Tokyo Disney vacation package or considering it, stay tuned for my guide on that. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, let me know if this was useful, and I will see you all next time.